What's up, guys? So we are going to talk about Brave Frontier versus the brand new iOS mobile game and Android that came out, and it's got all your favorite Brave Frontier characters. Well, not all of them yet, but this game is starting out with the first 6 elements. And let's talk about how to get started, how to play this game. Completely free to play, guys. 100% free to play. You can even craft all the cards. It's a gacha style game where you summon units, but the thing here is you can also craft every single card in game. So even if you don't pull the ultra rare units that you want, you can craft them by dismantling and actually just playing the game in the PvE mode. And also currently in the arena right now, they're doing an event where you can get these tokens, these Zell tokens, to craft your cards you want. But first up, you do want to start off the game, and then you want to figure out what kind of deck you want to play. So each deck has an element, right? You have light, you have dark, you have earth, you have thunder, you have fire, and you have ice. So there's 3 different booster packs. When you start the game, you're going to get 30 pack just for logging in the game. So you get 10 of each pack. And then you get around 2,500 gems, which gets you another 25 booster packs. Plus every single day you're going to get around 300 or so gems if you're active. Now, the most important thing to figure out is what kind of deck and what kind of play style you want to play. So you're going to play the game first, start the game. Do not link the account yet, right? Do not go to the marketplace. Do not link your account yet. Because what you want to do is you want to figure out what element suits your play style. Do you want to play fire decks that are kind of like a beat down and just like spam big kind of buff units that just... Do you want to play a water deck that is a little bit more complex, that has spells and magic that can buff and debuff the enemies? Do you want to play an earth deck, which is all about big, beefy dudes that are a little slow and then take some time to set up, that grow over time? Do you want to play a lightning deck, which is extremely fast and can kill very, very quickly, but is very squishy? Or do you want to play like a light deck that has little unique summoning protections on each other, shields, buffs, but it's very complex to play? Or do you want to try a dark style deck, which is very difficult to play? The dark deck, I think, will be probably the highest skill ceiling, but you do need a lot of mythics and legends to make the dark deck work. I don't really recommend the dark deck. Dark deck has a lot of cool little like tech cards in it, but as a starter off type thing, I recommend one of the first 5. And so you can see in the booster pack, you're going to get all these different cards. So mostly you're going to get commons. Commons are what you're going to get. You are going to get a couple of rares. And then these epics, these silver ones, are quite rare. Then on top of that, you have the legendaries, which are like ultra rare. So in those like 50 packs that you're going to open up in the beginning of the game, you're probably only going to get 1 or 2 legendaries. And most likely you're not going to get any mythics. But that's okay, because the mythics, these super cards, are not that good actually. There's only a few mythics that are actually really, really good. We'll talk about those in different videos, but this is a basic guide. So first up, you start the game, you play the game, you start just like spamming cards, figuring out how to play the game, like what deck style you want to play. And then once you've figured out what deck style that you want to play, you now start the reroll process. Because you do want to start out, especially if you're a free-to-play player, you want to start out with a decent deck that is around the element that you want. So if you want a fire deck, you're obviously going to be spending all of your gems in the fire booster pack. You can see you can still get fire cards in the earth and thunder booster pack, but these are mainly the commons and the rares. You don't really need hardly any of these. You are going to be looking for the fire legendaries and the fire mythic if you want to build a fire deck. So the fire booster pack here, again, you got all like the commons and rares, but you have this really strong card right here. When attack, grant 50 HP and 50 attack to this card and an ally. So you want things like that. And then also the mythic right here. When summoned, for every ally with fire protection, gain 1 of the following. And he's got all these big stat buffs. So if you are like, I want to play fire, you really want to aim for the fire mythic. And at the bare minimum, like the fire goddess lava or some of the other legendaries. But so it's interesting. Not all of the fire legendaries are in the fire booster pack. You notice here, there's only 1 fire legendary there. So if you are looking for other fire legendaries, you will have to look into other booster packs. So like this one over here, after attack, you have an ally has 900 attack, deal 200 physical damage to a foe. So you can get different cards in different booster packs. So figure out what kind of element you want. This is also probably the best fire card in the game. And so it's very interesting. It's like you want to be summoning out of the light and dark booster pack to get the best fire card in the game, besides the mythic. So there's another option too. You can craft every single card in the game, like I said earlier. Crafting a legendary will cost you 1,000 Zell. You will get around 800 or so Zell by selling all your duplicates out of that 50 pack. But you can sell your individual cards. Say you never want to use this card right here. You don't want Bernie. You're like, he's bad. I don't want to ever use him. You can just go ahead and start selling, and you can sell all these things. There's also rarities on these things. So you have a standard rarity, then you have the foil rarity, which is going to increase their attack power and also make it shiny. So you're going to have foilness on your cards. And then when you go up, you're going to have even higher, which is the peril rarity, and that again boosts up your cards. And you don't have to just summon these guys. In the booster packs, you're going to open up, you're going to see these cards shiny. You're going to be like, cool, some of these are really cool, they're shiny, they're rare. But you can also, again, use Zell to upgrade all of your cards. And once you find the deck that you want, the biggest tip is that you want to upgrade all of your cards in that deck so that the stats on your cards are significantly better than what they were in the base form. So let's take a look here. This card is a very, very powerful card. It's a 490 and 330 attack. But if we go all the way up to parallel, it becomes a 530 HP with 350 attack. So you can see it gained a lot of power right there. And then they also have what is called a manifest form. So manifest is a special ability that happens on turn 3 and turn 5. On turn 3, you get to select between one of two cards out of your deck. Instead of drawing a card, you get to pick one of two cards, and they're supercharged. They are manifesting into more powerful versions of themselves. So this is definitely a very, very important thing to look at. And then on turn 5, you also get to now pick from one of four cards in your deck, and they are the manifest version of that card. So a very stronger version of that card. You can see we take a look. So this legend is already very strong, but if we look at her manifest version, she jumps all the way up to 1,300 and 860. So the cost of all manifest cards go up by 1. The cost is in the top left here, but that's a huge increase in attack power and HP right there. Massive, massive power boost. So those are the biggest basics. Find the element that you want and then reroll for that element. Look at the elements and just simply join a guild too. Guild, you get tons and tons of free gems. So make sure that you're in an active guild. And if you're not in an active guild, chat in the global chat. And we'll talk more in-depth strategy. But this is the basic tips and tricks of the game here. So hopefully you enjoy the game, have fun, and if you want to find more content, specifically data on cards and informations, let me know. Follow me on YouTube here. Hit the like button on the videos. We are in the top 10. We're aiming to get #1 in the world, and we are using a completely free-to-play deck. It's only commons, rares, and a few epics in the deck. So to check that out, look at the other videos. I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.